Here at Cloverworks Research Facility, they run experiments to possibly create another great anime. Hey, what are you doing? Don't add social anxiety to that! Why did that feel like a personal attack? Possibly being one of the best animes of the season, Bocchi The Rock takes the traditional music genre and said, hey, what if we gave the main character so much social anxiety, it makes Komi look like the second coming of Christ. This anime flew under the radar of most seasonal anime watchers when it first began airing, but recently, it's become one of the top animes of the season, getting first place 3 weeks in a row. Best girl 2 weeks in a row, and top male character 0 weeks in a row. There's no guys here. Yet, when it comes to popularity, it's getting completely buried by all the big boys of the season. Because who would want to watch anime girls play the guitar when you could watch Blue Lock and cheer for Japan at the World Cup? Me. I'm that filthy slice of life fan. If you enjoyed watching Bocchi Can't Communicate, then be sure to subscribe to both my channels and join my Discord. Let me give you a satire synopsis of this anime. Our main character Hitori is extremely antisocial. At the beginning of the story, she's a middle schooler in no clubs, has 0 friends, 0 social interactions, and the only notifications that she gets on her phone is that some Chinese guy is raiding her village. Until one day, she sees somebody on TV say, "Bands are where introverts can shine and become rich and famous." I want to shine and become rich and famous. So Hitori learns the guitar to play in front of people at her middle school. She only made one miscalculation. She would have to play in front of people at her school.
But you were unsuccessful?
Obviously.
Now in high school, she decides to do what every friendless person does. Starts uploading on YouTube.
登録者数3万超えてる。
What? No chance she beat me within 8 minutes of the anime. Hello, Lunar Toons here. This is now the future of the channel. She now comes up with a new plan to make friends and join a band, walking around with a guitar, which is something that wouldn't work for some of us in high school. Hey man, what's that?
Huh? Oh, this old thing? You see, I'm a bit of a musician myself. Hey, where you going?
Hitori is noticed by Nijika, who asks her to join her band and do a concert that same day, since the guitarist abandoned them. Alright Hitori, this is just like the simulations. You got this. Nailed it. Hitori is then dragged away to the concert. Wait, did she even check if Hitori knew how to play the guitar? Hitori meets the other member of the band, Ryo, and while getting ready to perform, they run into a small problem. Hitori can't perform in front of an audience, so what can they do? Solid Snake! Thanks for the box. They even give Hitori the nickname Bocchi, which means all alone. They couldn't have just called her Hit or something? But she's finally playing in a band and truly shining.
むしろ人生で一番惨めかも。
To avoid spoilers, I'll just say the rest of the anime follows Bocchi's journey to slowly overcome her social anxiety. Yep, this whole thing is just Bocchi's training arc. The character dynamics and group chemistry between the main cast is some of my favorite in anime. You could stick this group into any anime, and it wouldn't matter if they're ice skating, fighting titans, saving Konoha, or finding the One Piece. They will still shine. Each character seemingly has opposing personalities, yet they all balance each other out so well, like Nina and Alexander. Hitori, or Bocchi, is probably the main reason why most of us stuck around to watch the show for so long. Because, as everybody and their mother spammed all over the internet, she's just so relatable. Of course she's relatable. You're watching a guy talk about anime on a weekend. You're definitely an introvert. Bocchi takes all the normal traits of having social anxiety and cranks them up to 110%. You think that you have social anxiety? Her only safe haven is her closet. You're just there because you're a JoJo fan. Like most people with social anxiety, she doesn't want to be that way and wants to make friends, going as far as choosing a school 2 hours away from her home so that people won't know her past. Watching Bocchi is like watching your favorite extreme ironing player, because you're just cheering them on, hoping desperately that they win. And even when she takes one step forward that she doesn't notice, you feel exhilarated. Because if Bocchi has one fan, I am that fan. More than anyone, I believe in her dream to drop out of school. Greatest of anime time tier. Okay, that was a little weird. Introversion has many different branches, and while Bocchi falls under the lonely category, Ryo falls under the loner category. She's the bass player of the band, who comes from a wealthy family, yet due to poor financial decisions, is always broke. Luckily, she always carries her emergency wallet with her. Super bass tier. Nijika's the drummer of the band, and the sister of the manager, who owns the live house that they play at. She's probably the most normal of the group, so there's not too much I can say about her. I mean, her blood type is type A. Now I only need 9 more facts, and I can make one of those clickbait videos. Top 10 things you didn't know about Nijika. A zip tie tier. The final member of the band, Kita, the singer of the group, who's extremely extroverted. When you close your eyes and picture the Instagrammable, Starbucks-loving girl, this is her. She has an extroverted aura so bright, it often kills the poor Bocchi. But at the end of the day, she's just a bass lover tier. One of the main reasons why this anime is praised so heavily is because of how relatable it is. While nobody has as much social anxiety as Bocchi, because if you did, you wouldn't be able to comment it. This anime perfectly captures many experiences that people with social anxiety have gone through. Who hasn't waited outside of a door minutes before going in? Who doesn't overthink every possible negative outcome? Who hasn't been able to say no because of anxiety? And who doesn't practice Twister just in case their friends want to play when they come over? Okay, that last one was a bit of a stretch, but the answer is productive members of society. People have been getting more social anxiety since COVID. I mean, me personally. Yeah, nobody cares about a YouTuber sob story. You just spend all of your time making anime videos. You're worse than being introverted. I think the best way for me to describe it is how the anime put it. It might not connect with too many people, but those it does, it'll hit deeply. Translation, it just hits different. Most people will probably disagree with what I'm about to say since I am a filthy slice of life lover, but if you gave me the choices between the detailed animation of Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer versus the animations of things such as this in Nishijo, I would choose this style every time.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
There is no animation style that I love more than simple animations that suddenly go over the top with funny facial animations. Cloverworks has been putting out amazingly animated shows all year, such as Spy Family, My Dress Up Darling, but for me, Bocchi The Rock takes the cake. You can tell that the animation team really went all out. I mean, look at this. They drew a cracked phone here. It's this type of unnecessary additions that you find sprinkled throughout the anime that really make it great. Not only is it good in the traditional sense, where it just looks good when they're playing the instruments, it'll suddenly change animation styles for simple jokes. Hell, it may randomly go live action. However, that's not the most impressive thing about it. The manga is by no means complex, yet the anime can take this single panel and make a whole skit based off how this guy's gonna isekai himself because of a cheating wife. And you can't tell me that this looks like it's from the same anime. It looks like the animators took an acid trip before starting. The music is something that really stood out to me, but not just because it sounds nice. It was more based around the voice actors and how great they sounded during the performance. When the characters were nervous, their voice sounded shaky in a natural sounding way. What surprised me the most was the voice actress for Bocchi, whose performance stood out to me the most, hasn't had much prominent leading roles besides this one.
Wow, Lunar, you haven't seen Wake Up Girls? All 9,000 of them?
No. I did have a ton of notes talking about how funny this anime is, but is it really funny if someone has to explain the joke? I will leave you with one, which was lost in translation. Hitori means one person or alone, while her sister's name is Futari, which means two people. Her parents were really her biggest haters since birth. In conclusion, although this anime may get buried by this stack season, it is without a doubt a masterpiece.
でもそれは私だけじゃない言葉なマシナリーフレンドならたくさんいるのにな世界が怖いチュンチュンチュンチュンチュンチュンチュンチュンチュンチュンデレーボッチザロック大丈夫だよね
0 out of 10. It was all a personal attack. Since I'm already here, I may as well record the outro. Click here to check out my channel. Click here to check out my most recent video. And click here to check out the recommended video. Okay, goodbye.